It's finally Thursday. I felt like this week was going by fast, but it really ain't. It really ain't. Um, I went to the gym today. My energy is just not. I'm getting stronger, but because I can't eat like I need to, like my life is literally today like a couple of bites of some turkey and a Greek yogurt and some protein shakes. Like, I'm still trying to get my stomach healed to where I can eat again. It's not, I mean, I'm only 3 weeks out, and I know it ain't been that long, but it just seems like, when am I going to get back to normal type of thing? But I'm doing way better than I'm supposed to, so I'm not beating myself up, but not having a lot of energy is kind of kicking my butt. And not being able to drink like I want to kicks my butt. That's why, I mean, my voice is normally raspy when I do this because I'm thirsty, but now it's even worse because I can't drink as much water. And there's going to be a lot of yawning because my energy level's like, bleh. But I'm trying to pep it up for y'all. I'm trying to get it together. It's finally Thursday, so I'm glad we're getting close to the end of this week because it's been a while. It's been a week. Nothing in a bad way. Just getting used to getting adjusted to being back to work and still doing little things around the new house and just getting adjusted to even waking up and being somewhere else. Everything was kind of a whirlwind. You wake up and you live somewhere else and it's just everything's weird. My dog is acting like she kind of sickly today. She played, but she didn't eat a lot at all and it's just been, so I'm really hoping that everything pans out. I'm ready for some boredom and some good sleep, and yeah, that's what I'm ready for. So, Friday it is. Friday, I'm determined to get some rest, prayerfully. Let's get into this news, though. So, Bieber is sharing more pictures of her growing baby bump. Netflix cheaper ad-supported tier has amassed 40 million global mobile monthly active users. The ads is bringing people back. VP Harris was gifted tickets to one of the last summer's hottest concerts by artist herself, Beyonce. Oh, this might be her last hurrah for real. Knowing Biden, I think he can replace her. Kevin Costner opens up about the drama over his future on Yellowstone, which has been contested between Paramount and Network, the actor himself, for more than a year. I mean, they got to be paying a lot of money to have him on that show. I mean, I know it's a hit show, but Kevin Costner ain't no cheap actor. Federal appeals court rejects a bid by a group of Maryland parents to force the school district to allow them to opt their elementary school children out of being assigned to read books that include LGBTQ characters. Anti-war student protesters at UC Berkeley have begun dismantling their encampment after reaching an agreement with administrators at the school over its Israel-related events. Caitlin Clark's professional debut amassed 2.1 million viewers, although she didn't win. But it was funny because a lot of people that have never reported on WNBA players was like, this woman can actually play, which was kind of funny. I talked about this yesterday, but the FBI requested, in the case of Micah Miller, they're they're investigating. We'll see what comes of this. It's a lot of stuff, a lot of rabbit hole, lots of podcasts about this woman, lots of sleuths. So we'll see. The full NFL schedule was released on Wednesday as fans plan their lives around the 18 weeks. Lord knows my husband will be planning his life around it. What else? What else on here? Victoria's Secret says its once celebrated fashion show will return. Really? We still doing that? A second teen has pleaded guilty in the death of a 20-year-old driver who was hit in the head by a rock. This is stupid kids doing that. I never understand what they get out of that, knowing they can kill somebody. A barge slammed into the bridge in Galveston on Wednesday. What is up with all these? Don't let the conspiracy theorists get a hold of this. Mitt Romney says Biden should have pardoned Trump and pressure New York prosecutors to not pursue the hush money trial. Yeah, right, Mitt Romney. Like, Biden was going to do that. Despite lawsuits blaming the highly caffeinated drink for 2 deaths and permanent health problem, Panera's charged lemonade amassed a dedicated fan base. People still like it. They said we ain't taking it off the menu. Jim Jordan accuses New York hush money prosecutor of Trump obsession. We talked about Butker saying the most craziest stuff the other day. Biden administration has said that they will be giving $1 billion in weapons to Israel. It's going to make a lot of people happy. U.S. has imposed visa restrictions on more than 250 members of Nicaraguan government and leveled sanctions on 3 Nicaraguan entities in retaliation for repressive actions and failure to stem migrant smuggling through the country. A Florida teenager says she was denied entry for a public school's prom because she wore a suit, which school says violated its dress codes. U.S. removed Cuba from a list of countries that are not cooperating fully in the fight against terrorism. Senator Bob Menendez abused his position as chairman of Senate Relations and put greed first. Is he gonna get locked up or what? Alcohol prices are up 2% since last year. Everything's up, man. Everything. Supreme Court paves a way for Louisiana to use a congressional map in this year's election that includes 2 majority black districts. Mike Johnson defended visiting former President Trump at his New York trial, citing frustration with the cases against him, and said he doesn't expect another motion to remove him as Speaker. Chinese electric car company NIO says the first car for its new lower-price brand Envo will be $4,000 cheaper than Tesla. So are they bringing that over here or what? Because they kept acting like they wouldn't. For roughly a month, McDonald's would offer a $5 menu that includes a McChicken or McDouble, 4-piece nuggets or fries. If y'all want to get y'all some values. A Florida deputy helped reunite a mother with her daughter after the child got lost on Indian Rocks Beach. A serial child rapist was arrested in Missouri after more than 2 decades. That's crazy. I didn't even hear about it. A Texas man accused of kidnapping a 10-month-old girl in New Mexico Park after fatally shooting her mother, and another woman had previously threatened to start killing people and children. Okay, did they find him? You know what? This thing is getting on my nerves. Let me see what I liked on here today, because I did like some stuff. So this was a really sad story. This 10-year-old boy took his own life after getting constantly bullied at school for his glasses and his teeth. Or his parents.
He was my baby. He was the youngest one. I held him in my arms and I did things that no father should ever have to do. And anytime I closed my eyes, that's all I could see. They were making fun of him for his glasses. In the beginning, they went on to make fun of his teeth. He was beat up on the school bus, and the kid broke his glasses and everything. And I called the school, and I'm like, "What are you doing about this? It keeps getting worse and worse and worse. It's not getting any better. As a matter of fact, it's getting worse." They knew this was going on. I always tell the kids, because Sammy and his sister went to bed first because they were younger, and telling them they had to brush their teeth and get ready for bed, and having them, him not being there to hug before bed.
That's so sad. I would have been riding that bus with my son. I'm sorry. I remember my son was getting bullied, and I was like, I will get on this bus, and I'm telling you, I knock every kid out in there. We'll just go to jail, because that is just so sad. Poor guy. So this video shows African maids are for sale on an online slave market in the Gulf. I don't know.
للأمانة الشهادة لله ما أساسها زينة ولو تقعدت الساعة 5 الفجر ما تكشف نفسها وزينة. فينا نشوفها؟
In the Gulf, women employed as domestic workers are being sold online via apps approved and provided by Google and Apple. It's been called an online slave market. Our BBC News Arabic team posed as a husband and wife looking to buy a domestic worker in Kuwait.
Ready?
Yes. An app called For Sale is used to buy and sell domestic workers alongside cars and TVs. The BBC team spoke to 57 users of For Sale who were selling their domestic workers online for thousands of pounds. Most women had no knowledge they were being advertised online and then sold.
عندها فكرة إن هي حتنتقل على مكان تاني أو ما عندها مانع بالموضوع؟ ما قلت لها، أنا قلت لها. ما قلت لها؟ ما عندها مشكلة، واحدة جاية تشتغل.
App users were violating national and international law on modern slavery, human trafficking and forced labor by selling these women. They were also denying domestic workers their basic human rights.
إجازة بتاخد إجازة؟ لا إحنا ككويتيين ما نخلي صراحة إحنا مجرمين.
أوكي. بالنسبة للموبايل وهيك؟ لا أنسى موضوع الموبايل هذا ما أعتقد إنه يعني هذا من النوع اللي مو متعلم فاهمني؟ يعني ما بدها تتكلم مع أهلها مثلا إذا بتتكلم مع أهلها وكذا؟ يمكن مع أهلها تعطيكم مرة في الشهر. والقانون إيش بقول طيب؟ القانون إحنا ما نمشي على.
It's not the only app being used to sell women online. The BBC found hundreds of domestic workers for sale on Saudi app Haraj and Facebook-owned Instagram. The undercover team arranged to meet with some of the sellers in person. One of them, who told us he was a policeman, urged our team to break the law by confiscating the domestic worker's passport and denying her any time off.
That's crazy, y'all. What is this lady talking about?
Early and in your office, you gotta wear 2 sweaters, you got a blanket and a space heater when it's 76 degrees outside. You're not crazy, you're not delusional, and chances are you're actually not even anemic. The reason why you're so goddamn cold is because U.S. building, specifically corporate buildings, are based on 2 factors: the metabolic rate of a person and what they're wearing. That standard was set in 1966 on white men who were wearing suits. And guess what? The average female metabolic rate is 20 to 30% lower. That's why you have so cold.
Lord knows I'm going to be pulling my heater out pretty soon. So thank you for showing that I'm not sick, because I have my heater and my blanket. Like, I don't play. It'd be freezing. Dominican Republic machete fight. Man cuts off another man's hand. Dang. Wilson sell their mansion for $31 million in Seattle. Amazon worker tries to shoot supervisor, misses, gunned down by cops. I seen that. That was crazy. I think I got that on video actually. Sophia Turner considered terminating first pregnancy with Joe. I don't even know why I read that. President Joe Biden stumbled, but he didn't fall. Netflix is bringing back Happy Gilmore too. Netflix is just hurting for content. They just really don't have nothing. McDonald's is dropping the smile from Happy Meals for Mental Health Week. How does that help people? Like, are we? Come on, I don't get this. I mean, the smile is like the sun with the smile. Like, I get everybody's not in a good mood, but at least you get a Happy Meal. Like, it's called Happy Meal. What's wrong with y'all? I don't get that. So you just gonna have a meal with a red box? Sad. Alright. I think we're done on this thing. Eddie Winslow trends online after he is got an OnlyFans with his transgender girlfriend. Family Matters is just going through it. First they accused Carl Winslow of sleeping with Diddy, and now this. Alright, y'all, I'm about to hop over to some Reddits, because, oh yeah, people saying Red Lobster might be closing. I mean, and then I heard about Chili's. I mean, but yeah, Applebee's stays strong because of them drinks. Don't get it twisted. Alright, let's go to Reddit. See what's happening over here. What do you call her significant other's parents? Just by her name, Mrs. and Mr. Somebody said their first names. I don't really call them anything. I just say hi and leave. My dad called them the Outlaws. Somebody said to their faces, or I don't. I avoid needing to use their names at all costs. It's been 10 years and I never use. Luckily for me, I got some good in-laws this time around. Knock on wood. Married men, if anything, are you unable to share honestly? What are you unwilling to share with your spouse? Inquired minds want to know. We've both been sleeping in separate rooms for the past few months since we've both been sick. It's some of the best sleep I've had in a while. Once we recover, I don't know if I want to sleep together again. My husband looks up because I work nights, so he really only has to sleep with me like 2 days a week, but he swears he missed sleeping with me. Sometimes the things she says to me in arguments break my heart. Aww. Women can have a slick tongue. I know I got a slick mouth sometimes. Literally anything that isn't within the realm of her personal interest. Otherwise, she makes it clear that she's not really interested in what interests me. Sometimes I do because I can't keep everything to myself forever, but it just feels like I'm a child bothering their parent talking about how cool their toys are. I'm scared of not being able to provide a decent life for her and my kids. Life's getting so expensive and challenging. Shoot, that's everybody. That she almost ended the relationship and it took years for me to forgive her when she said, "You're not a parent, so you don't know. I spent years raising her children as my own." Dang. I mean, she probably didn't mean it from a bad place, but you know. What did your wife or husband hide from you until after you were married? What did you hide? that he was in the military. I had recently enlisted in the Army. When I met him out one night, he told me he was a Marine veteran, and that's how we started talking. There's so many people that lie. What they call that? False valor. Dang, he hit a child. He had taken breakdancing lessons as a kid. He won't show me. Night terrors. Somebody said, why are all the comments depressing? I hate the fact that I really like Enya for my husband. He now has to put up with me listening to her whenever I paint. That he was unemployed in the middle of the bankruptcy case and he had lost his house due to foreclosure. The worst part is that I never found out about any of this until years later when we were getting divorced. He hid so much and I still have no clue how. Girl, background check. She told me she could drive a stick. We got married and every car I owned was a stick except for my pickup. It became a huge problem when she had to go somewhere. I told my husband all the time I don't know how to drive a stick. He still can't believe it, but I don't. I hid that I was a male cheerleader in high school for my wife for more than 15 years. Somebody said Phil Dunphy. I had an experience when a friend, we grew up together in the hood. At the wedding, he told the story about how he grew up wealthy and traveled the world with his parents while growing up in university educated. In reality, he's from the projects and lived but poor and never finished university. I had to sit there and listen to him tell the story at his wedding. I still hang with him and his wife. He keeps telling me this lie that makes me crazy. Why don't you confront him? Real friends could be like, yo, why are you lying? I didn't really sneeze as loud as I wanted to when we were dating. Once we were hitched, I unleashed the full-blown sneeze. These are pretty interesting. What is something you can never forgive someone? Well, the Bible says you have to forgive. But do I forget? No. But I'll be forgiven. Somebody said using the secrets I confided in against me. It's hard to forgive someone who shatters your heart with betrayal. Cheating. I just quit my job because the owner of the place is cheating on his partner with a coworker of mine who is also cheating on her partner with him. Not only am I against cheating on a personal level, but a professional level, they think they're being sneaky, but everyone knows. Most people that cheat at work think they're being sneaky, but everyone knows. Rape, yeah. Rape or anything to do with a child, I'll never speak to you again. Cheating. My mother, for me, finally realizing her part as being a co-abuser through neglect. She doesn't remember anything important from my childhood. She didn't intercede when my father decided that I was his target. She didn't give me medical care when I came home from a car accident. She didn't ask me how I was doing when I hadn't eaten for 2 days. Yeah. Yeah, child abuser stealing from me. Stealing from me burns me up. I'll forgive you, but I just won't forget. That means I'll never leave my purse or nothing around you because I gotta watch you. Am I the a-hole for telling my wife that she's foolish for giving half of her income to her pastor? No, dude. We ain't even gotta read all this. Somebody said tithing is typically 10%. I'd be curious about the specifics of this covenant and how much influence the recipient had in making 50%. You better make sure she ain't messing with that pastor. Some of these pastors be sleeping with these wives. Does she upgrade to Jesus' plan that offers a ride straight to heaven when the rapture happens? Anything more than 10% is for someone who makes $15,000 a day, not a month. If they chose 50% is outrageous. Some people do. Am I the a-hole for cutting my wife's allowance because she didn't return the money I accidentally transferred to her? I'm 39 years old. I work full time. My wife is 35 and she's a stay at home during the day. We have no children. For finances, what we do is I'll pay every bill, including our mortgage, insurance, etc. My wife has no real expenses that she does not incur herself. Although admittedly, as a couple, that she does get her hair cut for one are strictly necessary. Last year, I sat her down and told her that for miscellaneous expenses, I would be giving her $1,500 a month and that she could do with the money that she wanted. My wife has hated the system since day one and she believes that I should just leave her in charge of finances. She's tried to find multiple ways to negotiate it, but to be frank, I can't give her money anymore because I do not have any more. She first tried to send me this Excel spreadsheet with all her expenses. With a new branch of mathematics she invented, determined that she needed at least $4,000 a month to survive. She then started selling some of our belongings online for pocket cash. After this, she asked me to go shopping and I bought her a new bag. I've not seen the bag since, so I'm assuming she sold it. She then decided to go on strike with housework cooking, but withholding something you never really provide in the first place is an ineffective method. Let's see. Last month on my payday, I only get paid once a month. I sat down to complete all necessary transfers and a brain for a moment. Instead of transferring my wife $1,500 as I usually did, I transferred $3,100, which was our mortgage, into her account. Immediately knowing what was coming, I texted her asking for any money back. A few hours later, she texted me back and said no. Then I called her and told her that I couldn't pay the mortgage unless she gave me the money back. She responded, and I quote, "Sounds like you have a problem. I had to borrow money from my parents to just pay the mortgage." I got paid again yesterday for this time. I gave her $150. She frantically called me about my mistake, but I said that she stole money from me and I was... Listen, y'all got a big problem, miscommunication problems, because I mean, y'all married. She shouldn't have blew that money, though, because it got to go to the bills. But that's why I got to have my own money, because I can't have nobody giving me no allowance. It just would never work. Somebody said, my dude, like, this is just strangely weird. I'll say this, though. If you're giving your wife $1,500 every month just to F around with and you don't have $3,000 in the bank to cover your mortgage, then you are giving your wife way too much money to F around with. I mean, it seemed like he had $1,500 for the things they need around the house, which, if you have kids and groceries and all that and gas, I don't even know if $1,500 a month is enough in this society. People said your numbers don't make sense. Somebody said she needs to get a job. No reason for a woman to hang out not working with children at home. Honestly, it's a privilege. Like, listen to Harrison Bucker. He said women should love staying at home, but that's why y'all need jobs, women. Am I the a-hole for only tipping $200 on a $4,000 cat tattoo? You better than me, because that would have been a $4,000 tattoo. Why I got a tip? Unless they did it all in one sitting or something special. Am I the a-hole for refusing to apologize for not telling my ex-son-in-law about our family's history of mental illness? So my son-in-law is 60 and my daughter's 43, and they had an ugly divorce as a result in their kids 18, 15, and 10 no longer speaking to their dad, and my ex-sister-in-law's side of the family no longer speaking to us, and refusing to attend any holiday, birthday event with the grandkids if we are involved. No way. My son-in-law spent time in jail for screaming at the judge, hating the divorce, calling him a piece of human trash, enabler, deception, and bragging about writing rants about the judge online. My daughter was diagnosed with schizophrenia a few years into her marriage. Now her ex demands that my husband and I apologize and pay him damages because he claims we should have told him before the wedding 22 years ago that our family has a history of mental illness. At the time of their wedding, my daughter did not show symptoms. My mom, who was already deceased at the time, had schizophrenia, a few relatives, yada yada. My husband and I did not have any mental illness. I don't know. Y'all all seem crazy. I mean, look. If somebody in my family has off behavior, I will warn people, don't do it. But is it my duty to do it? No. I mean, you should have dated them longer to figure it out. But I mean, you're not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. He seems like he should be the one seeking mental health and counseling. Wait, so they were married for 20 years and her mental illness only became a problem for him once she files for a divorce? Not the a-hole. He and his own family are off. Yeah, they were married for a long time for him to be complaining now about mental illness. I mean, shoot. If he divorced her within 6 months, he might have something to say. Alright, y'all, let's get into these story time. I hate all these notifications. Alright. So this dude bought a car off Carvana and the car was stolen, which is jacked.
Listen, y'all do not buy a car from Carvana. Lying, I'm suing the fuck out of them. Whoever lying, I'm suing the fuck out of them. Carvana is out here selling stolen cars. I don't know how this bitch managed to make it off the lot. My brother spent 77 cash on this goddamn vet. I'm suing the fuck out. 12 came through, ran the VINs. They was like, it's stolen in Florida. We gotta tow it. And hold on, wait, so y'all know niggas ain't lying. Hold on. This from what that bitch say? Carvana. Listen. Carvana is out here selling stolen cars. 12 pulled up. They said, hey, we ran the VIN. The car is stolen. We got to tow it. Look at this. This bitch sexy. This bitch sexy as hell, though, baby. That's the sad part. They say, hey, man, ain't no nothing you. He sold the paperwork and everything. They towing this bitch. Carvana's out here.
At least the police was nice to them, thank goodness. Somebody said there's a class action lawsuit right now with them doing the same thing. That's crazy. Carvana's that's crazy.
Alright, I'm finna show y'all the funniest ones I've seen. Ghetto with shit in your crib, part 1.
Generation after generation, never being disturbed.
So no Silwick fan in this room. Got a picture of one. Then I got this. Yeah.
I don't know where the girl that started this and that, but somebody needs to sign over here.
This is my back door. Yes, they got 2 doorknobs. This is a bullet hole that goes into my bedroom. The kids colored it with chalk. Ignore the mess. But, our homemade gate around the fence for the...
This window, okay? It's gone. It's gone. The front door, my nigga, is hardly open. And I don't know what happened, but I have stairs that lead to nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Alright, I'm finna show y'all the...
Some of these people, I just want to even if you send them stuff to replace this stuff, would they just break it again? Because the fact that they went that long and found ways, and I get it, we live in a society where people just don't have no money, but you can go so many places and get free stuff. Habitat for Humanity, for instance, so many places give you free doors and stuff like that, but some of these is crazy.
I seen the most nastiest video the other day on TikTok, this Capri Sun video. These people open a Capri Sun and pour it on. It's a bunch of nasty, and you know what? I'd be drinking these Capri Suns, not knowing what's inside of it. So you know what, guys? I just got a box of Capri Suns, and I'm about to check this out. Those are ants. Those are bugs.
That's just wild. I mean, a lot of people like, let's see what was in that bowl, but I don't know. Part of me is thinking this might be true.
If you guys didn't know, Kansas got hit really bad with cyber attacks, and I just got a letter from Topeka to let me know that my full name, social security number, date of birth, address from the last 5 years, proof of my utility bill, and my phone bill. How the fuck do you know I have Metro? My social security card, my paycheck stub, 4 years of information when it comes to taxes. My ID and my birth certificate were all taken during the cyber attack. The only thing you didn't release to these fucking people is I took a shit about 30 minutes ago. How am I supposed to feel protected? At this point, I say I'm Tristan Galindo, and probably some of the motherfuckers are Tristan Galindo as well. So let me know when you're ready to create a new identity for moi. And by the way, this is happening all over the U.S. right now with the cyber attacks. The only fucked up part is right now where I live in Kansas, I'm unable to pay my bills because they have all of it locked down because they can't get back into our fucking systems. The police officers can't even get in to see anything. And right now, Kansas is paying the person that took over all of our systems to try to get them to release them, and they should be better by Wednesday. Tomorrow.
Yeah, I got affected with buying my house with the stupid cyber attack crap. I don't know. This reads like conspiracy theorists like crazy. But yeah, crazy.
On any given day, there's a lot of traffic along Hampton and 60th. Last week, it was a different type of traffic that led police here. Investigators say 32-year-old Catiana Collins and 49-year-old James Crump pulled into the gas station parking lot, not looking to fill up. Surveillance shows them in a red Mazda, stopping briefly to chat with a group of girls. When the group goes inside, investigators say Collins was right behind them. She's seen chatting with them for several minutes, even buying them food before they all walk out together. After a brief discussion, two girls get in a Mazda and drive away. Investigators say they didn't know Crump was also in the car and told the 15-year-olds they were going to Chicago. The girls told police Crump pulled out a black handgun, pointed it at their heads, telling them they'd be forced to perform sex acts. When they got to the Windy City, the teens say Crump and Collins prostituted them, taking all of their money. Investigators say Crump and Collins drove the girls back to Milwaukee, dropped them off at home, and told them they'd be back in a few days. The girls went to family and told them what happened and said they had Collins' cell phone number. Investigators say one of those adults pretended to be one of the girls and said she'd meet up with Collins in a text message. Instead, she recorded Crump and Collins and got their plates. They went to police, who later arrested them.
That's crazy. I hope y'all still educating y'all kids on this trafficking because it's still very much a big issue.
Give me the tea. What's the drama? What's happening in your life? I want to know. I'm bored.
Okay, so I can't believe I'm gonna tell you this, but I don't have any followers on this account, so it's probably not gonna go anywhere anyways. So it all started 19 and a half years ago, almost 20 now. My biological father and my mom had split up, and he was with this girl named Rebecca, and together they had a child. Well, my dad is a piece of shit, and him and Rebecca broke up. Well, me and my little brother were getting older, and Rebecca didn't want my little brother to know that I was his brother, so she asked my mom if I could say that he was my cousin, and my mom was like, no, I'm not doing that. My mom's like that. My mom's like me. She's like, no, I'm not fucking doing that. That's stupid. And then she was like, okay, well, I guess then they can't see each other anymore. So me and my long-lost little brother, we were estranged for 19 years. Fast forward to last October, I happened to come across his TikTok, and I reached out to him, and we clicked instantly. We are the exact same person, which is a problem because I fucking hate myself. And so I didn't realize that I would hate the second version of me too. And I
was living in Tennessee, and I met him, and I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pack up everything, and I'm going to move back to California, and my grandparents are going to let me move in there to their house because I found my long-lost little brother, something that took everybody else 19 years to do. Nobody was even looking for him. I was looking for him. I started my whole entire social media back when I was 8 years old on MySpace to look for my little brother, and then along the road after all these years, like, it wasn't such an intense search anymore. But, you know, I always had in the back of my mind, if I found my little brother, like, that would be really cool. So I did find him, right? And I packed up all of my stuff in Tennessee, and I went to California. Well, I don't know if I was just delusional and completely forgot the relationship that I had with my grandparents. They basically raised me. They're like my parents. My parents are kind of like my kids type beat. And they were not having it. They were like, no, you cannot live here. I give my grandma high blood pressure, apparently. We're just Italian, and we get in arguments, and she just doesn't embrace her Italian heritage, so she doesn't like to argue because she says it gives her high blood pressure. Besides the point. So I went to the garage to get me and my little brother some water bottles, and apparently while I was in the garage, my grandparents had told him, they said, hey, Robert cannot stay here, but if you need a place to go, you are more than welcome with open arms. And I was like, what the fuck? You don't even know this kid. Like, first of all, he could be a thief. He could be a drug addict. Like, we don't even know this kid. You guys know me. I'm the only grandkid that my grandparents have that, like, literally would drop everything I'm doing to mow my grandparents' lawn for them, would drop everything I'm doing to help my grandpa, like, hang Christmas lights, whatever. So, anyways, my brother was like, no, you guys are fucking fake as fuck. I'm gonna go live with him. And so we were supposed to move to Maryland together, and we were just hanging out, and we went to the When We Were Young festival in Vegas, and, you know, everything seemed so real. It felt like we were rolling. Like, I don't know if you know what rolling is, but we were sober. We were not drinking. We were barely kind of smoking here and there, but, like, we were mostly sober. Then one night, we were car camping, and we had taken shrooms, and we started talking, and we were, like, so sure that I was God and he was Jesus Christ. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And we just, you know, we thought that we, like, literally, we thought we were doing something, right? And we started building all these, like, crazy delusions, like how we're gonna save the world, and it was mind-boggling for a sober person. Like, I'm thinking about this now, stone cold sober, thinking about how stone cold sober I was back then, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, what were we on? So fast forward a week later, and I don't even think I should post this. Long story short is he had said maybe we should be together. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, that's, like, actually fucking crazy. And I don't know if it was because I really don't know. I don't even know. And I was like, well, no, probably not that. But I'm a people pleaser, right? So, you know, like, he would, like, kind of, like, flirt with me and stuff like that, and, like, I would just, like, you know, whatever. One thing led to another, and I hooked up with my little brother, and that shit turned me straight, let me tell you. I had questioned my sexuality my whole entire life. People around me made me question my sexuality. The internet made me question my sexuality. TikTok made me question my sexuality. TikTok has made me question every single thing about myself. But I don't know if it's like a blessing or a curse, but let me tell you, and not that it's bad to be gay. I love gay people. I think that gay people are so fucking cool. But my whole entire life, I had just done whatever anybody wanted from me because I'm a people pleaser. Let me tell you, something about two consenting adults being blood related and doing something like that will really fucking open your eyes. Needless to say, we haven't spoken in months. He fucking hates me. I get it. Like, I'm his older brother. I was supposed to, like, protect him and not do that with him. But all I've ever wanted was, like, a homeboy. You know, like, I've always been, like, the guy in a group of girlfriends. And don't get me wrong, I love it. But that's what's kind of given me a lot of femininity. Hanging out with girls all the time and being around girls and being raised by a mom who was mostly single most of the time, and even when she wasn't single, she was basically raising my dad, my sister's dad, her boyfriends like they were her kids. I've only really been around women my whole entire life, and horrible, toxic, abusive, alcoholic piece of shit men. All I've ever wanted was one solid homeboy. And I've had an issue in my past where I make people feel some type of way. And people always say, Robbie, you know, I've never felt this way about a guy before. And I'm like, well, hold up, buckaroo. And then we hook up. And then we're no longer friends. And I had kind of like given my brother a rundown of my life story, told him that these types of things happened to me. And he was like, damn, dude, that's crazy. And then I was like, yeah, man, I'm so happy that I finally get to have a friendship with another man. And that won't be an issue. And then the same thing fucking happened. My own little brother fell in love with me. That's fucking crazy. Anyways.
That is the most craziest story. And I don't even know why I tortured myself. Because it was just getting worse and more unbelievable by every turn. And the dude is completely deranged. These monkeys are a nuisance. I don't know what. I don't deal with them. I don't want nothing to do with them. I don't think they cute. I just, Listen, this podcast is all over the place today. But it got me feeling loopy as heck. I gotta get up out of here. Listen, tomorrow is a Friday, y'all. We're gonna make it. Y'all stay strong and keep prayed up. And pray for my doggy that she feels better. I'll be praying for y'all. Stay safe.